This question is from November 2004, paper 1, question number 9, question 11 from the book. The function fx clearly states that fx is 2x minus a, where a is constant and defined with all the real x. That means obviously it's all the element of x. Considering in the case where a is equal to 3, now the examiner has given you that a is equal to 3 and they want you to find out f of fx is equal to what? 11. So what does f of fx is equal to 11 mean? This means that the composite functions are being used. Inside of fx function, you have substituted fx again. Inside the fx function, you have substituted the fx again. So that means that if I say fx is given, which is 2x minus 3 now, because a value is 3. And we are writing down f of fx, which means you are substituting f of x function in the value of x. So that means this 2 will be written as it is. In this x, what you're going to do is you're going to write 2x minus 3 and you're going to write minus 3 again. Because this minus 3 is from the fx function, this 2 is from the fx function, but you have substituted 2x minus 3 in place of what? X, just to show that fx is substituted in the function of fx again. So let's just solve this. This should be 4x minus 6 minus 9. F of fx becomes what? 4x minus 3, which means minus 9 in total. So can I say that the question clearly mentioned that f of fx is equal to 11? So putting down f of fx is equal to 11. F of fx is 4x minus 9 is equal to what? 11. 4x is equal to 11 plus 9. 4x is equal to 20. X becomes 20 upon 4, which means x is equal to 5. So this is the answer for part 1, which is of 3 marks. Then the question says that the function gx is x square minus 6x is defined for all real x. Find the value of a for which fx is equal to gx. Now, if we do fx is equal to gx, what does it mean? Fx is equal to what? Gx. Your function of fx is defined again that it is 2x minus a. Please note that this was a separate part. This part 1 was separate. The value of a will only be used in this part. But now, since you will be writing down fx again, you will be writing down as 2x minus a. You will be writing down as 2x minus a. Whereas the function of gx was x square minus 6x. So this is x square minus 6x. So if we just solve this thing down, we will have x square minus 6x minus 2x plus a. X square as it is, minus 6x as it is. 2x will come on the other side, become minus 2x, and minus a becomes what? Plus 2a. If we just solve this thing, this should be x square minus 8x plus a. This will be the equation given, but this is in the form of what? A. The question clearly mentioned one particular thing, that is, it has exactly one real solution. When the question says one real solution, that means the question is talking about b square minus 4ac equal to 0. The question clearly means that they are talking about b square minus 4ac is equal to what? 0. Can we say minus 8 whole square minus 4, 1, and c will be taken as what? A, which is what? 0. So this is 64 minus 4a is equal to 0. Minus 4a is equal to 64, which is negative. Negative is cancelled. A is 64 upon 4. 64 upon 4. So what will be the answer? A will be equal to what? 16. So considering the point that the questions clearly says that find the value of a for which fx is equal to gx, we obviously substituted fx in place of fx, gx in place of gx, and we just solved it. Through what? The quadratic question that says one real solution, that means b square minus 4ac equal to 0. Now in the other part, the question says the function hx is, now the equation is same, x square minus 6x, but now the examiner has changed it to what? Hx. So linking it to hx, which is x square minus 6x, and the question clearly identifies that the domain is x is greater than or equal to 3. Express x square minus 6x to what? X square minus 6x is to be expressed in x minus p whole square minus q. So if we just open this, x square minus 6x equivalent to x square minus 2xp plus p square minus q, we can then solve this further. Minus 6x can be compared to what? Minus 2xp, x is cancelled, minus minus is cancelled, 6 upon 2p, p becomes what? 3. Whereas if you see your constant p square minus q cannot be compared to anything else other than 0. So this should be considered as 0 because there is no value here. So for constant, we'll be writing down as 0, and we know that p is 3, which can be written as square. So this should be minus 9 is equal to minus 9, q minus 9. So q becomes what? 9 only. Now considering that we already had x minus p whole square minus q. So we know that x minus 3 whole square minus is already there. So 9 will be the answer. This will be the answer for the solving of what? That the question says express x square minus 6 in this form where p and q are constant. Now the question says find an expression of h inverse of x. What does expression mean? Your expression means that you need to change. You need to change your to what? Fx to f inverse. Now here's the concept that is there between this. You need to understand that your quadratic equation does not have inverse. Does not have inverse. But completing the square form gives me turning point, and from turning point we have what? Inverse. I repeat this. Completing the square form gives me what? Turning point, and turning point shows me the inverse. So whenever I need to find out the inverse, I will be taking out inverse from completing the square form only. That means inverse. For inverse, you will be using 3 steps. That is inverse. You will be using how many steps? 3 steps. Your fx will be changed to y. Then you make subject. Make x the subject. And what do you do next? Change x to f inverse of x and y to x. The question clearly mentioned that x minus 3 whole square minus 9, this represents fx. So can I say we need to change this completing the square form only? So this fx will be written as what? Y, x minus 3 whole square minus 9, y plus 9 under root plus 3 is equal to x. Can be written down to make the x the subject. Minus 9 goes on the other side, become plus, square becomes under root, minus 3 becomes plus on the other side. Your x is the subject now. The question was of gx. So can we say the x will be changed to g inverse of x, where y will be changed to what? X only. But there is one thing that you need to understand. Whenever there is a square root, you have plus or minus sign. What do you have? Plus or minus sign. So when you look at the question, and the question says that it is a U-shaped curve, and you see that the turning point of x is given, because from the point where we found out that this is 3, and this is 9. So that means your turning point is 3, 9. And the question clearly says this is x is equal greater than equal to what? 3. So when the question clearly says that this is x greater than equal to 3, so for this, what I will have is, for this, what I can say is from the point where 3 is there, the curve will go towards the top. That means for each value of x, your y will increase. For each value of x, your y will increase. That means if x increases, y also increases. So it is known as your increasing function. What is it called? Increasing function. So you will use plus here. For the what? For your inverse expression. Lastly, the question says state the domain of h inverse of x. The question says state the domain of h inverse of x. Your domain will become domain of fx is basically range of f inverse of x. Your range of fx is domain of f inverse of x. So your fx had two values. X is greater than equal to 3 and fx is greater than equal to -9, right? This is your domain and this becomes range of fx. But if you look at f inverse x, so the domain will be fx is greater than equal to -9 and f inverse of x will be greater than equal to 3. So for f inverse of x, this becomes your domain and this becomes your range.